anybody's feelings, but it's an observation and my opinion, an opinion based on what I've seen and what I've heard from people. That's my perception. That's my observation. That's my opinion. Men do get away with some stuff just because, and so do women. Do I disparage the women for getting away with some stuff because of what they are? No. In fact, they're foolish if they don't. Same with men. The absolute same thing with men. If you've got a man who gets a job because he can lift more stuff than a woman, and let's be honest with it, most men are stronger than most women. And if you got a job that requires you to lift 100-pound bags, if you're a woman, you're probably not getting that job. It's not your fault. It's just a fact. By the same token, nobody wants to see a man working at Hooters. Nobody. That's just the way things are. But it goes past sex. And I'll use an example this week listening to the local sports station. And they were talking about the Urban Meyer thing, and they were laughing about it and joking about it and being very entertaining about it, by the way. And these guys, 101.1 FM here in St. Louis, there's a group of guys who are on the afternoon show they're pretty entertaining, okay? And they were talking about Urban Meyer and Shah Khan. Shah Khan is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a Southern Illinois auto parts maker who turned into a billionaire, wanted a football team, bought one. There he is, okay? Now, Shah Khan is a Pakistani American, okay? Born in Pakistan, but lived here for a long, long time, okay? He's an American of Pakistani descent. So they were starting to do a big joke and a big goof on Shah Khan talking to Urban Meyer. And when they did it, they did Shah Khan with a Southern accent. Hey, Urban, you shouldn't be doing this because you shouldn't be like that, and you're fondling on this girl, and you're a married man, and blah, 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 blah. And everybody laughed. And the one guy said, why did you do Shah Khan with a Southern accent? And everyone went silent. Finally, he said, I don't know. I just thought I would. That wasn't the honest answer. The honest answer was, because if he had done Shah Khan with a Pakistani accent, like he was Apu on The Simpsons, he'd have been canceled or fired or at least reprimanded. Because you don't want to make fun of somebody who wasn't born here with an accent. He's a non-white person of color, whatever you want to call him, and he has an accent that's not like ours. So you don't make fun of those types of people. And on the surface, that seems fine. But you made fun of somebody born south of the Mason-Dixon line with a clearly white accent. So don't make fun of the Pakistani millionaire because that's racist. But make fun of the Southern yokel, which is not racist at all. That's what I'm talking about. You can do this, but you can't do that. And then they moved on to something else. I understand why they did it. But they did it because you can make fun of this group. You can make fun of that group. But you can't make fun of those people. So the whole cancel culture, you can say this, but not that. And who decides it? Not you. Somebody else. Jon Gruden. Did you hear the latest story about Jon Gruden? Jon Gruden, Las Vegas Raiders coach. This was a story out of ESPN. But Jon Gruden used what ESPN calls a racist comment in referring to NFL Players Association executive director DeMaurice Smith in an email 10 years ago. And this was reported in the Wall Street Journal originally, also reported by ESPN. The story is by ESPN, but the Journal broke the story. Now, in an email back in 2011, sent to the president of the Washington football team, which, by the way, that's disingenuous right there. In 2011, it was not the Washington football team. It was the Washington Redskins, okay? So we're not going to be racist here, okay? We can't even say that word, okay? But in an email sent to the president of the Washington football team in July of 2011, as the NFL and players were in the midst of trying to resolve a lockout, Gruden said that Smith had, quote, lips the size of Michelin tires. Wow. Now, Gruden, who was employed at that time as the lead analyst for Monday Night Football, told ESPN he did not recall writing the email, but apologized for the fault. In other words, I don't remember doing that, but I'm sorry. Okay. Now, Gruden then said he has routinely used the term rubber lips to refer to a guy I catch lying, or if he can't spit something out. Gruden then said, I'm ashamed I insulted D. Smith, I should say. Gruden told ESPN, adding, I never had a racial thought when I used it. I'm embarrassed by what's out there. I certainly never meant it to sound that bad. Gruden said he's spoken with the Raiders owner Mark Davis and expects to speak with him again. He was not sure whether he would face any disciplinary action from Davis or the NFL, which condemned Gruden's comments in a statement Friday afternoon. Now, the email from Jon Gruden criticizing Maurice Smith is appalling, abhorrent, and wholly contrary to the NFL's values, said NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy. We condemn the statement and regret any harm that its publication may inflict on Mr. Smith or anyone else. The league is looking into the matter with disciplinary action possible for Gruden, according to multiple reports. Now, in a statement Friday afternoon, Davis called the content for the email disturbing and, I love this, not what the Raiders stand for. The email came to light during the NFL's investigation of workplace misconduct with the Washington football team. Again, they were the Redskins then, folks. Say it, Redskins. That was the name of their team. As the league was informed of the existence of the emails that raised issues beyond the scope of that investigation. Okay, senior league executives reviewed the content of more than 650,000 emails, including the one the Journal reported was written by Gruden to Bruce Allen, then president of the Washington football team, Redskins. The NFL then sent pertinent emails to the Raiders for review. Think about this. This guy sent an email that was at best insensitive, at worst maybe racist, maybe. So they looked at 650,000 emails that he had sent to see if there was anything else. I suspect there wasn't, or we would have heard about it. Now, this is not the first. Now, this is from Smith, okay, the guy who was called Michelin Lips. Michelin tire lips as big as Michelin tires. This is not the first racist comment that I've heard, and it probably will not be the last, Smith told the Journal. This is a thick-skinned job for somebody with dark skin, just like it's always been for many people who look like me and work in corporate America. You know, people are sometimes saying things behind your back that are racist, just like you see people talk and write about you using thinly coded and racist language. Racism like this comes from the fact that I'm at the same table as they are, and they don't think somebody who looks like me belongs, said Smith. I'm sorry my family has to see something like this, but I would rather they know. I will not let it define me. Look, the last part of that I get. But Smith earned $4.4 million last year for being a union rep, okay? And he obviously earns it or they wouldn't keep hiring him, okay? He's obviously doing the job they want. Now, here's the thing. And again, there's going to be people who listen to this who say, yeah, Strong, I'm glad you said this and I agree. And people are saying, what the heck? You're Strong, I didn't think you were such a racist. Here's the thing. Saying he has lips as big as Michelin tires, well, of course he doesn't. But the guy does have huge lips. He just does, okay? That's a fact. And the fact that he made fun of the way he looked, you really don't want to do that. But I don't know that it was racist. Rubber lips is a term that's used quite often for somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about and just runs their mouth. I think that's what Gruden meant, personally. I could be wrong. The reason I say that is because Jon Gruden has made a career of working, coaching, leading lots of black people. And I've never heard anything surface like this before. You cannot mask racism for that long in front of that many people. Okay? Now, whether he slipped or whether he didn't slip, one email out of 650,000 gotcha. Now, here's how Gruden differs from Urban Meyer, however. Gruden led the Raiders in 1998 until he was traded to Tampa Bay after the 2001 season. He immediately led the Buccaneers to a Super Bowl title against the Raiders. He lasted through the 2008 season in Tampa Bay before being fired. Then he headed to Monday Night Football, and he worked in the booth. The Raiders, then in Oakland, rehired Gruden in 2018 with a 10-year, $100 million contract. The team moved to Las Vegas, blah, 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 blah. But here's the sticker. Urban Meyer is 0-4. Jon Gruden is 3-1. Urban Meyer might get fired. Jon Gruden, not so much. They'll slap him on the wrist. They'll tell him, this doesn't represent us. They'll make him apologize, all that kind of silly stuff. Now, here's the thing. Here's the caveat that makes me think the way I think, okay? Is it insensitive at best for Gruden, who had an issue with Smith, to criticize him because of the way he looked? Yeah, that's a low blow. That's an easy shot. That's low-hanging fruit, okay? But think about it. What does absolutely everybody, or I should say, what does absolutely everybody refer to Jon Gruden as, including me many times? That's right. Chucky. Yep. He looks, and the reason is because if you kind of look at him, he kind of halfway resembles the Chucky doll from the horror films, okay? I think it's funny. Now, does he really look like a doll who kills people? No, he really doesn't. But is there kind of a resemblance there? Yeah. This white doll, this pasty white doll, and Jon Gruden kind of do look alike. So he's been referred to as Chucky for years and years and years. Does Smith have big lips? Yeah. Lips as big as Michelin tires? No. Does Gruden kind of look like Chucky? Yeah. Does he really look like a murdering doll? No. But one is racist and one is not. Now, there are things that Gruden could have said that would have been truly racist. To say the guy had rubber lips or Michelin tire lips, it's not racist. Insensitive. Below the belt. Not thinking when you're trying to have a discussion about somebody. But then for Smith just to rub his hands, look at the ground, and say, yeah, I put up with this all my life. Poor, poor, poor me. Shut up. People have been calling Gruden Chucky for years. Okay? And do people say racist things about you, Mr. Smith, behind your back? I'm sure they do. And I'm sure people say racist things about a lot of people behind their back. That's not racism. That's life. It just is. Number 2, Dave Chapelle, who, in my opinion, if he's not the funniest comedian of all time, he's certainly in the top 2 or 3. I love Dave Chapelle. He's hilarious. And he's more than just hilarious. He's not slapstick comedy hilarious. I've never looked at things this way. Hilarious. Okay? I like Dave Chapelle. And the reason I like Dave Chapelle is because he's funny. He makes me laugh. He looks at things in a different way. He's very unique in the way he does things. And for those of you who don't know it, Dave Chapelle is black. Now, Dave Chapelle, this is an article out of NPR. And anything out of NPR, I always take with a grain of salt. Because in a in an era where